How's it going, everybody? It is December 20th. I thought I would take a few minutes and go over some of the comments that you guys have left and discussions that we've had over the last month. Now that the sales are slower, at least for me and a few others that I've talked to, and significantly, there were a few days where we had that peak. But I just thought I would go. I've picked out maybe four or five. I can't remember how many comments because they kind of touched upon really good points, and I thought that I'd share this with you guys just to get a discussion going because I think we can actually learn a lot more by sharing this kind of information than relying on somebody's course or some kind of content out there. Because things that worked last year don't necessarily work this year, and I think just this kind of information is priceless. So I'll start with this comment. This was actually left in a video um, where I mentioned running ads and basically saying how it was too late for me to run ads. What needs to happen is you want to start early. You want to test things out way before December, and then ramp them up and maybe increase the budget. So this person is basically saying if you want to run ads, you should run ads in August to be profitable. Right now, ads costs are huge and sales are too low to run ads, so you would basically just be wasting money and you get nothing in return. This person also thinks the recession has arrived to America, and because not only do they see that top brands used to get 2000 BSR last year, and this year they're getting 20,000 bestseller rank. So this would be brand clothing like Quicksilver, Hurley, and it's just not those brands that are struggling now. And I completely agree, especially when it comes to this first part here. I do think that uh, it would take a couple of months to perfect ads, and and then you want to ramp it up in December. I really liked a comment that one of you guys left me a while ago. I think I'm gonna implement that this year in 2023, which is take a certain percentage of your profits, 20-25% depending on what you're comfortable with, and spend that on ads. And I think that's going to be my strategy. I'm going to have to decide on an amount. I don't know if I want to do like $100 a month, $200 a month, 250. I'll see, but I'm definitely going to start doing that. I expect that the first couple of months it's going to be a loss while I'm testing things out, but I really want to decide like if I'm going to pick out certain products, if I'm going to go with certain categories, and then I'll play around with automatic ads and keywords, and then manual. So we'll see. So I agree with this. Uh, you have to do it. You have to do it enough to find out what works and what doesn't. Step away from videos and courses and start doing shit and seeing what works. Not everything you need to know is stuffed into videos. The most valuable information regarding merch was stuff I learned doing it. There's tons of stuff people don't even cover, like color proofing or even just checking your ASIN and keywords in bulk to see if and where you are you are listing for things that you went through all the trouble of finding a niche and making a design for it. Two aspects of print on demand I consider crucial to product performance almost is never talked about. There's more to print on demand than watching videos meant to sell you shit. Amazon is dark magic. If you do the work of sitting down with it and figuring shit out, you will see better results. This was I was talking about uh, how it's sometimes, for example, people on YouTube, or it doesn't have to be YouTube, but like when you're watching people's performance videos, people tend to not talk about bad days, and they just want to put the most positive, the most impressive information in front of you because there's a benefit to them because you can come back, it's exciting, it's they're gonna sell you something, so it's a business. So this person, and I agree with this, and that's why I picked out this comment because yeah, of course there's a lot of useful information out there, but you don't know what's going to work for you. You don't know if you're going to have 100 copycats. You don't know if you're going to get into a niche where you're first, and maybe you're just going to take a little bit of advertising to push your products to have a lower BSR. You don't know where the momentum is going to come from. Maybe you're going to share something on social media. So there's a lot of things that you have to try, that you really have to try before you get a sense of what works. Even having the same, for example, design with different font styles, all those kinds of things. And those things are usually not covered, especially bad things, because I think I was making a point in that video, basically saying that we have to deal with reality. If you're having bad days, if you're having, if things are actually happening that are impacting your business in a negative way, you can't just ignore it. You can't just concentrate on positive things and say, oh, great, this is what's gonna work and everything. No, you really have to look at what doesn't work. Like, don't shy away from negative results or information, because it's information. Information is good any way you look at it. It's up to you how you're going to handle that situation, or I guess use that information to your benefit. But if you're getting information that seems bad, if you're getting negative results, uh, admit that to yourself and say, okay, this is how I deal with it. Don't just get discouraged and give up. That's probably going to be the worst thing for you. This was a comment left for a video that I where my sales finally started spiking. I think it lasted like 3 or 4 days, and then it crashed back down. But I'll talk about that later on. So way to go! These past couple of weeks, I was making about 1,400 per week on merch by Amazon. That's amazing. Congratulations. I looked up delivery dates today on the shirts and hoodies, and it stated that the 24th. I think the decline of sales has started. And this is exactly when I saw it too. There was a day I looked at shipping days for just standard t-shirts, and it said something like the 19th. The next day, I looked at the same listings, and it said the 23rd. So instead of saying 20th or 21st, it just jumped by like 3 days. And when it actually switched to after Christmas, my sales completely crashed. Sales been ramping up from an average of 10 to 20 per day at the start of Q4, peaking at around 50 to 60 early in the week. And I'm assuming this was since this was 4 days ago, it would have been maybe like 2 weeks ago, which is just around the time when it actually was spiking for everybody. Quite a bit drop yesterday with 38 sales over all marketplaces and sitting at 22 today so far. I've got quite a number of evergreens that will hopefully still sell. I was making a comment like that all the gifts that products that we're selling that were meant as gifts were skyrocketing during those couple of days, but of course we're going to keep getting sales afterwards if it's just people buying stuff for themselves. Like, not everything has to be a gift. Hoping for a nice spike in average sales next year due to a large number of first, then multiple sales now on evergreens. Last Christmas was my first, and the sales spike gave me a 3 times multiple to my average month after Christmas. If that happens this year, I'll be very happy. Yeah, that'd be pretty amazing. I definitely had a different experience. I had a huge crash last, I think, October, November, and never really recovered. But I get what you're saying, and I actually hope that that happens to more of us, because you want. So for me, I'm not looking for huge spikes. What I'm looking for is consistency, and I want an increase and a consistent number of sales per month. Like, I would actually be happy with my January and February being exactly the same as December, as long as I'm sustaining that increase in overall sales. This is the comment that I picked out, and I asked a question about running sales, running ads, and what the sales would be. For example, normal sales, as this person describes it, versus ad sales, and we're going to look at this just as kind of an example. So you were wondering what the ratio with normal sales versus ad sales. Here's my December so far. So I'm going to go over these numbers slowly because it took me just a second to kind of realize exactly what was going on here. So total US sales 116, 155 worldwide. US ad sales 50. Ad spend of $172, US royalties of 341. 90% of my sales are pop sockets. Top US pop socket has a BSR of 29,000 and top UK pop socket has a rank of about 800. So, if I understand this correctly, total US sales were 116, and out of those, I'm assuming out of those, 50 were because of ads. So about half, just under half. And in total, a third. And this person spent $172 to make 341. Now, that's actually really, really good. I don't even know what the return on investment here would be, but that's amazing. If this was sales, for example, that would be very bad because you have to take into consideration, the expense here and everything else. So the fact that this person doubled their investment is just incredible. If this is kind of like the success rate of your ads, or if you're ever running ads, or even for myself, like if I was to get these kinds of results, I would never stop these ads. I would just copy these ads and push them to to as many products as I can using the same strategy. Because if you're spending $1 to make two, yeah, just pump the money into it. I think it's a great strategy. Okay, in the interest of time, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. Let me know how you guys did, and we'll just keep doing our thing. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.